Ballahoo Ridge is a large protrusion that is bordered to its north and west by marshlands. Water running off this high ridge line that runs for 7 miles gathers in the lowlands north of the town of Ballahoo. The ridge separates Vickerstown from Ballahoo and splits into 2 separate ridge lines that form a small lake of runoff water in the middle. It was here, at the point where they split, that the S&M decided to build a railway tunnel. The first attempt to tunnel through the Ballahoo Ridge came in 1869, when the Sodor and Mainland Railway decided to expand from Crovan's Gate to Vickerstown via Ballahoo. For the expansion, the railway received 3 new Nielsen box tanks named Roger, Abraham, and William. The digging of the tunnel started in late July and lasted until mid-September. The tunnel was never completed, however, because on September 19, 1869, midway through the Western Ridge, the bore completely collapsed. 13 miners and the new box tank, William, were killed in the disaster. The Sodor and Mainland had no money for a second attempt, so abandoned the line past Ballahoo. The project wouldn't be attempted for another 20 years. The S&M's first tunnel collapsed due to the fact that the Western Ridge is made up of soft earth because it's surrounded on 3 sides by watery marshlands. The S&M didn't line their tunnels, and their excessive use of dynamite made the disaster inevitable. When the company started construction again in 1889, they scaled back the use of explosives and lined the tunnel with stone bricks. The Eastern Ridge, though longer, was made up of harder rocks and proved much easier to bore through. A small bridge was built across the middle marshland, and a retaining wall was built to contain it. The S&M's new tunnel was completed by March 1890. Vickerstown was reached in June, and the line then opened. The first bore was left completely abandoned because of the overwhelming costs associated with clearing 20 years of buildup, as well as to pay respects to the people lost in the 1869 disaster. The Vickerstown expansion nearly bankrupted the S&M, who were forced to work their trains overtime to stave off bankruptcy. Part of the costs were derived from the S&M's new locomotive, Benson, but an overwhelming chunk of the cost came through the boring of the mile-long tunnel system. The tunnels would be expanded in 1915. Coal deposits were found in the northern approaches of the Ballahoo Ridge. The MOD bought the land in 1915 and built a line up to the new coal mine. The 1869 bore was cleaned out and a junction was built on the western side of the tunnel, leading up to the new mine. The mine was decommissioned in 1947 and promptly abandoned. A junction connecting the 2 Western Ridge tunnels together in the middle marshlands was built in 1923 after a certain green engine got stuck in the southern bore. There were signal boxes on either side of the western tunnel to monitor for small, frequent landslides that blocked the line from time to time. However, in 1947, when the mines were shut down, the middle marshland signal box was abandoned. Today, the tunnels stand as a marker of the difficulties Sodor's precursor railways had to deal with to connect this small mountainous island together. The landslide issue has long since been rectified, and a small memorial stands on the hill dedicated to those lost in the 1869 disaster.